years, Universitas Indonesia has been recognized as a world-leading and globally respected research university. Universitas Indonesia continues to pursue the highest achievements in terms of innovation, development, and novelty in science. Universitas Indonesia has 3 study clusters with 14 faculties, 2 postgraduate programs, and a vocational education program. During the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020 to early 2022, Universitas Indonesia has established a health-promoting university program that enables student involvement in controlling and promoting health to their cohorts. Universitas Indonesia has succeeded in becoming the best campus in Indonesia and keeps pushing itself constantly to be in the high rankings of world universities. In addition, Universitas Indonesia has conducted research collaborations with many institutions, foreign partners, and universities. In 2021, more than 2,000 Universitas Indonesia students participated in student exchange programs abroad, as well as more than 1,000 inbound students studying at Universitas Indonesia. Not only students, but lecturers also go on inbound and outbound teaching visits. More than 800 lecturers teach at other campuses abroad.
Universitas Indonesia actively collaborates with many world-renowned universities and several education and research associations,
as well as collaborations with faculty networks.
To get higher chance for you to win the competitions, you must develop your own personal capabilities beyond your academic qualifications.
Being a UI graduate brings a lot of opportunities for me since I was shaped by great lecturers, friends, seniors, and organizational experiences, both academically and socially, which I'm really thankful for.
Green Metric, one of Universitas Indonesia's innovations that has been widely recognized internationally as the world's first university ranking based on a high commitment to manage the campus environment.
Universitas Indonesia needs to build constructive interactions between departments based on the principles of togetherness, transparency, accountability, responsibility, independence, and fairness. The essence of the university's social responsibility is how we address through teaching, research, and public affairs participation so that we can become a place of hope for future development. In addition, how does Universitas Indonesia makes a real contribution to the government through in-depth analysis related to strategic issues and national policies.
Innovation and entrepreneurship are important components of Universitas Indonesia's intellectual ecosystem.
In our engineering labs, we not only conduct research, we also innovate in areas including but not limited to medical instruments, scientifically advanced designs, and electric vehicles. The process begins when University of Indonesia academics identify a problem and come up with a solution. University of Indonesia academics, who come from different fields of study, seek solutions through various research materials, research and creative innovation, until we find a solution to make an impact on society. We have built a startup culture over the past few years that inspires academics to have a problem-solving approach.
And for more than a decade, we have been working hand in hand with government, state-owned enterprises, and private enterprises in empowering small medium-scale business sector and entrepreneurship development as a part of Sustainable Development Goal.
We learn, we do research,
We innovate.
and now we are transforming.
Universitas Indonesia, towards an entrepreneurial university.
Saya meyakini bahwa ASEAN masih penting dan relevan bagi rakyat, bagi kawasan, dan bagi dunia. Bahwa ASEAN akan terus berkontribusi bagi perdamaian dan stabilitas di Indo-Pasifik. Bahwa ASEAN akan terus dapat menjaga pertumbuhan ekonomi dan ASEAN Matters Epicentrum of Growth. Secara resmi saya nyatakan kick off keketuaan ASEAN Indonesia 2023 dimulai.
For many years, Universitas Indonesia has been recognized as a world-leading and globally respected research university. Universitas Indonesia continues to pursue the highest achievements in terms of innovation, development, and novelty in science. Universitas Indonesia has 3 study clusters with 14 faculties, 2 postgraduate programs, and a vocational education program. During the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020 to early 2022, Universitas Indonesia has established a health-promoting university program that enables student involvement in controlling and promoting health to their cohorts. Universitas Indonesia has succeeded in becoming the best campus in Indonesia and keeps pushing itself constantly to be in the high rankings of world universities. In addition, Universitas Indonesia has conducted research collaborations with many institutions, foreign partners, and universities. In 2021, more than 2,000 Universitas Indonesia students participated in student exchange programs abroad, as well as more than 1,000 inbound students studying at Universitas Indonesia. Not only students, but lecturers also go on inbound and outbound teaching visits. More than 800 lecturers teach at other campuses abroad.
Universitas Indonesia actively collaborates with many world-renowned universities and several education and research associations,
as well as collaborations with faculty networks.
To get higher chance for you to win the competitions, you must develop your own personal capabilities beyond your academic qualifications.
Being a UI graduate brings a lot of opportunities for me since I was shaped by great lecturers, friends, seniors, and organizational experiences, both academically and socially, which I'm really thankful for.
Green Metric, one of Universitas Indonesia's innovations that has been widely recognized internationally as the world's first university ranking based on a high commitment to manage the campus environment.
Universitas Indonesia needs to build constructive interactions between departments based on the principles of togetherness, transparency, accountability, responsibility, independence, and fairness. The essence of the university's social responsibility is how we address through teaching, research, and public affairs participation so that we can become a place of hope for future development. In addition, how does Universitas Indonesia makes a real contribution to the government through in-depth analysis related to strategic issues and national policies.
Innovation and entrepreneurship are important components of Universitas Indonesia's intellectual ecosystem.
In our engineering labs, we not only conduct research, we also innovate in areas including but not limited to medical instruments, scientifically advanced designs, and electric vehicles. The process begins when University of Indonesia academics identify a problem and come up with a solution. University of Indonesia academics, who come from different fields of study, seek solutions through various research materials, research and creative innovation, until we find a solution to make an impact on society. We have built a startup culture over the past few years that inspires academics to have a problem-solving approach.
And for more than a decade, we have been working hand in hand with government, state-owned enterprises, and private enterprises in empowering small medium-scale business sector and entrepreneurship development as a part of Sustainable Development Goal.
We learn, we do research,
We innovate,
And now we are transforming.
Universitas Indonesia, towards an entrepreneurial university.
Saya meyakini bahwa ASEAN masih penting dan relevan bagi rakyat, bagi kawasan, dan bagi dunia. Bahwa ASEAN akan terus berkontribusi bagi perdamaian dan stabilitas di Indo-Pasifik. Bahwa ASEAN akan terus dapat menjaga pertumbuhan ekonomi dan ASEAN Matters epicentrum of growth. Secara resmi saya nyatakan kick off keketuaan ASEAN Indonesia 2023 dimulai.
For many years, Universitas Indonesia has been recognized as a world-leading and globally respected research university. Universitas Indonesia continues to pursue the highest achievements in terms of innovation, development,
Recording
and
in
novelty in
progress.
science. Universitas Indonesia has 3 study clusters with 14 faculties, 2 postgraduate programs, and a vocational education program. During the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020 to early 2022, Universitas Indonesia has established a health-promoting university program that enables student involvement in controlling and promoting health to their cohorts. Universitas Indonesia has succeeded in becoming the best campus in Indonesia and keeps pushing itself constantly to be in the high rankings of world universities. In addition, Universitas Indonesia has conducted research collaborations with many institutions, foreign partners, and universities. In 2021, more than 2,000 Universitas Indonesia students participated in student exchange programs abroad, as well as more than 1,000 inbound students studying at Universitas Indonesia. Not only students, but lecturers also go on inbound and outbound teaching visits. More than 800 lecturers teach at other campuses abroad.
Universitas Indonesia actively collaborates with many world-renowned universities and several education and research associations,
as well as collaborations with faculty networks.
To get higher chance for you to win the competitions, you must develop your own personal capabilities beyond your academic qualifications.
Being a UI graduate brings a lot of opportunities for me since I was shaped by great lecturers, friends, seniors, and organizational experiences, both academically and socially, which I'm really thankful for.
Green Metric, one of Universitas Indonesia's innovations that has been widely recognized internationally as the world's first university ranking based on a high commitment to manage the campus environment.
Universitas Indonesia needs to build constructive interactions between departments based on the principles of togetherness, transparency, accountability, responsibility, independence, and fairness. The essence of the university's social responsibility is how we address through teaching, research, and public affairs participation so that we can become a place of hope for future development. In addition, how does Universitas Indonesia makes a real contribution to the government through in-depth analysis related to strategic issues and national policies.
Innovation and entrepreneurship are important components of Universitas Indonesia's intellectual ecosystem.
In our engineering labs, we not only conduct research, we also innovate in areas including but not limited to medical instruments, scientifically advanced designs, and electric vehicles. The process begins when University of Indonesia academics identify a problem and come up with a solution. University of Indonesia academics who come from different fields of study seek solutions through various research materials, research and creative innovation, until we find a solution to make an impact on society. We have built a startup culture over the past few years that inspires academics to have a problem-solving approach.
And for more than a decade, we have been working hand in hand with government, state-owned enterprises, and private enterprises in empowering small medium-scale business sector and entrepreneurship development as a part of sustainable development goal.
We learn, we do research,
We innovate.
And now we are transforming.
Universitas Indonesia, towards an entrepreneurial university.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the ASEAN Higher Education's Conference of 2023. Webinar number 4 with the topic of innovative collaborations in higher education and industry connectivity in ASEAN quality assurance and mobility. My name is Marisa Afroza, and I will be the Master of Ceremonies for today. On behalf of Universitas Indonesia, we want to express our heartfelt gratitude to all involved parties. I would like to welcome our esteemed guests as follows. Your Excellency, Associate Professor Dr. Pasit Lor Terapong, PMP, Deputy Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Higher Education, Science, Research and Innovations of the Kingdom of Thailand. His Excellency, Mr. Ivan John Enril Uy, Secretary Department of Information and Communication Technology, the Republic of the Philippines. Professor Ling San, Deputy President and Provost at the Nanyang Technological University in Singapore. Dr. Syahirah Lebay Lutfi, PhD, International Mobility and Collaboration Center, IMCC, Deputy Director and Global Engagement and Network at the University Science Malaysia in Malaysia. And lastly, Mr. Wellington Wang, Director of Asia Pacific Education and Healthcare, Huawei, Bangkok, the Kingdom of Thailand. And to all of the honorable speakers, moderators, and even organizing committee, I cannot mention one by one. Welcome to the ASEAN Higher Education Conference of 2023. Before starting our webinar today, I would like to share an announcement that all participants are cordially invited to follow. The announcements are: questions may be asked during the Q&A session, questions and answer. And it is held after the speakers, and all participants are encouraged to ask questions over Zoom or over the YouTube. The best 3 questions from participants will be getting a door prize, and the best questions will be announced at the end of our webinar today. And to start our webinar today, I would like to introduce our moderator for today. She achieved her master's degree from the University of Nottingham in the United Kingdom, and she is currently Universitas Indonesia's lecturer at the Faculty of Nursing. I welcome Nurse Denisa Faradita Aryani, ASCAP and Master of Science.
Thank you, MC, for such a warm and great introduction and opening. Distinguished guests, honorable speakers, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Communique webinar session of Asian Higher Education Conference 2023, presented by Universitas Indonesia. I am Denisa, and it is a pleasure to be a moderator for today. We will have 5 speakers ahead that come across Asian countries. Our speakers today has an incredible achievements around higher educations, governments, industries, and future notable expectations of education. We are grateful that we could learn and hear the talks today. Ladies and gentlemen, now we will hear the talks from our first speaker. I will introduce Associate Professor Dr. Pasit Lor Terapong from Thailand. He is Deputy Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Higher Education, Science, Research and Innovations from Thailand. Associate Professor Lor Terapong has educational background from civil engineering. He held PhD degree from Concordia University, Montreal, Canada, about building studies specialized in project management. His working experience are about Science and Technology Counselor, Ministry of Higher Education, Science, Research and Innovation. Chairman of Project Management Program, Graduate School of Management and Innovation from KMUTT. Vice President in Education, Project Management Institute, Bangkok Chapter. He will deliver the topic today about national and regional strategies for fostering innovation in higher education institutions in the Asian region. Please welcome Associate Professor Pasit Lorterapo.
Excellencies, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure and honor to have an opportunity to give an address on the topic of national and regional strategies for fostering innovation in higher education institutes at the fourth webinar of the ASEAN Higher Education Conference 2023 today. Recognizing that higher education institutions serve as hubs for knowledge creation and workforce development, it is imperative that they address global challenges just like other sectors. These challenges encompass areas such as global health, climate change, achieving carbon neutrality and net zero emission, energy supply concern, ensuring food security, and addressing growing inequalities. Higher education, too, encounters its distinct sets of challenges. As we step into an era defined by rapid technological advancement, shifting global dynamics, and evolving educational paradigms, the sector faces a spectrum of challenges that demand innovative solutions. These challenges span a wide range of areas. For example, colleges and universities struggle to find the right balance between staying financially stable and keeping education affordable. Simultaneously, they must also establish robust quality assurance mechanisms that meet global standards, producing graduates equipped with the skills and knowledge demanded by an ever-evolving job market. The shifting nature of education demands institutions to adapt to new pedagogical paradigms, meeting the challenge of learner-centered education, personalized learning paths, and competency-based approaches require a departure from traditional model. The digital revolution is reshaping every facet of our lives, and education is no exception. The challenge here is twofold. First, effectively integrating technology into education to enhance learning experience. And second, addressing the digital divide to ensure that no learner is left behind. In a world characterized by interconnectedness, preparing graduates for global citizenship is a significant challenge. Institutions must navigate the complexities of internationalization, fostering cross-cultural competencies and ensuring students are well prepared for a diverse and interconnected world. Higher education institutions are instrumental in driving research and innovation, balancing research and teaching responsibility, fostering a culture of curiosity, and leveraging innovation to address real-world challenges present an ongoing challenge. These has brought higher education institutions into a realm of adjustment, adaptation, transformation, and unprecedented innovation. Traditional teaching methods have been shaken up, pushing institutions to reassess their strategies. In connection with this, UNESCO introduced a new plan to reshape higher education at the World Higher Education Conference in 2022. This plan looked at the three main roles of higher education in a new way. First, producing knowledge through research and innovation by using different fields of study. Second, teaching students to become skilled professionals and active citizens who can work together to solve complex problems. And third, encouraging a sense of social responsibility both locally and globally. According to the World Economic Forum, universities should have a crucial role in advancing innovation and enhancing economic growth. They emphasize four key approaches through which university can drive innovation: by backing entrepreneurship, nurturing collaborations with business, championing diversity and inclusiveness, and exploring the dynamic relationship between technology and society. In an era marked by rapid technological advancements, global competition, and complex societal challenges, fostering innovation in higher education has emerged as a critical priority for nations seeking to drive economic growth, enhance competitiveness, and address pressing issues. National strategies for fostering innovation in higher education institutes can include: number 1, establish policy framework and coordination. At the heart of any successful endeavor lies a well-defined policy framework and efficient coordination mechanism. National governments should devise a comprehensive policy that articulates the vision, goals, and priorities for fostering innovation within higher education institutions. Concurrently, establishing a dedicated agencies or unit responsible for orchestrating and implementing the innovation strategy across various government departments, academia, and industry is imperative. This coordination ensures a harmonious alignment of efforts and resources toward achieving innovation-driven outcomes. Number 2, investment in research and development. One of the fundamental pillars of an innovation-focused higher education landscape is a robust investment in research and development. Adequate funding allocations are essential to fuel research activities ranging from fundamental specific exploration to practical applications. Government must channel significant resources to support both basic and applied research, thereby nurturing an environment conducive to groundbreaking discovery and technological breakthroughs. Furthermore, encouraging public-private partnership serves as a catalyst for collaboration between academia and industry, leading to knowledge exchange and accelerating innovation. Number 3, innovate curriculum and pedagogy. To prepare students for the complexity of the modern world, universities must adapt their curricula to incorporate innovative teaching methodologies. A blend of interdisciplinary course, experiential learning opportunities, and real-world problem-solving exercise nurtures critical thinking, creativity, and adaptability. Fostering a culture of entrepreneurship further enhance students' ability to translate ideas into practical solutions, thereby creating a generation of innovative thinkers and doers. Number 4, develop infrastructures and research facilities. Innovation flourishes in an environment equipped with cutting-edge research facilities and technology centers. Governments must invest in state-of-the-art laboratories and research infrastructures to enable researchers and students to conduct experiments, simulations, and data analysis. Share resources such as high-performance computing and fabrication labs, facilitate collaboration and interdisciplinary research, enabling universities to push the boundaries of knowledge. Number 5, enhance technology transfer and commercializations. The transformation of innovative ideas into marketplace products and service is a hallmark of successful innovation ecosystems. Enabling technology transfer and commercializations of university research requires streamlined mechanisms for licensing and intellectual property management. supporting incubators, accelerators, and innovation hubs, nurture startups and spin-off companies, translating academic research into tangible societal benefits. In 2019, Thailand took a significant step by establishing the Ministry of Higher Education, Science, Research and Innovation, or MESI. Through its name, this ministry serves as a unifying force, bringing together higher education institutions, science and technology agencies, and research funding bodies under a single umbrella. The primary goal encompasses the consolidation of national assets to cultivate skilled STEM workforce capable of competing globally. Simultaneously, the focus was on harnessing research and development to propel a value-driven and innovative economy, liberating the nation from the constraints of the middle-income bracket. In pursuit of this objective, universities underwent a categorization process into 5 distinct groups. Group 1, Global and Frontier Research. Group 2, Technology and Innovation. Group 3, Area-Based and Community. Group 4, Moral and Intellectual Cultivation. And Group 5, Specialized and Professional. Each grouping was characterized by its own distinct sets of key performance indicators. The introduction of a higher education sandbox provides universities with a platform to innovate and experiment with novel educational approaches, encompassing both degree and non-degree programs. Furthermore, various work-integrated learning models receive support, facilitating the production of graduates equipped with both immediate job-ready and adaptability to thrive in the future workforce. In an increasingly interconnected and dynamic world, fostering innovation in higher education often exceeds the capabilities of individual higher education institutions. Regional strategies which facilitates collaboration and coordination among universities within a specific geographical area have emerged as a powerful framework to foster innovation in higher education. Collaboration at a regional level allows universities to pool their resources, expertise, and infrastructures. By sharing knowledge, research facilities, and funding, institutions can achieve economies of scale and collectively address complex challenges that may be beyond the scope of individual universities. Regional collaboration brings together a diverse range of perspectives, cultures, and approaches. These diversities enrich the innovation ecosystem, encouraging the exchange of ideas and cross-disciplinary collaboration that can lead to breakthrough innovations. Many challenges faced by higher education institutions are common across regions, such as workforce development, research funding, and technology integration. Regional strategies enable universities to collectively devise solutions and leverage each other's experience. Collaborative research efforts within a region can lead to higher quality research outcomes and increased research impact. Joint projects allow researchers to access to complementary expertise, leading to more comprehensive and impactful results. Regional strategies create opportunities for students, faculty, and researchers to engage with a broader network of peers. This interconnected workforce benefits from cross-border mobility, exposures to different research environments, and the chance to acquire diverse skill sets. A collective regional effort can enhance the visibility and recognition of universities on the global stage. In ASEAN, there exists a policy framework that impacts and encouraging innovation in higher education is the ASEAN Innovation Roadmap 2019 to 2025. We also have ASEAN University Network or AUN in order to enhance collaboration on fostering innovation in higher education institutions. The AUN University Innovation and Enterprise or AUN-UIE, strengthening and leveraging the innovative capacity of university in the ASEAN region by offering them a common space for research, academic cooperation, and a network connection to higher learning institutions, government agencies, industry sectors, and business enterprise across the region. In its capacity as the host of AUN Secretariat, Thailand, under the Ministry of Higher Education, Science, Research and Innovation, takes great pride in fostering collaboration between Thai higher education institutions and their counterparts across ASEAN. This collaborative effort is geared towards propelling the agenda of higher education innovation. I truly believe that higher education institutions within the ASEAN region poses a remarkable opportunity not only to exchange knowledge and insights, but also to embark on collaborative endeavors, joint projects, share activities, collaborative degree programs, and the facilitation of staff and student mobility are avenues through which innovation can be nurtured. These concerted efforts are self-assured to elevate the quality of higher education and make substantial contributions to strengthen the resilience of ASEAN communities. As we embark on this collective journey, Thailand stands committed to championing the cause of higher education innovation within ASEAN. Through cohesive cooperation and the sharing of expertise, we are able to cultivate environment that not only enrich the higher education landscape, but also revitalize the spirit of innovation, thereby enhancing the socio-economic and intellectual fabric of the ASEAN community. Thank you very much.
Please give big round of applause for the first speaker. Excellencies, honorable participants, ladies and gentlemen. Since we are not able to have a direct Q&A on these talks, you are welcome to still give your questions to the chat box and we will try to communicate to the speakers. Now we will move to the second speaker for today. Please allow me to introduce His Excellency, Mr. Ivan John Andrew Uy. Mr. Ivan John Andrew Uy is a Filipino lawyer and IT expert who is currently the Secretary of Department of Information and Communication Technology. He got Humphrey Fellow at the University of Minnesota. His experiences as about Corporate Secretary and Chairman of the Philippine Business Conference Resolutions Committee, Chief Information Officer of the Supreme Court of the Philippines, Chairman of the Commission on Information and Communication Technology. His topic is about anticipating digital innovation in the future. Please welcome Mr. Ivan John Andrew Uy.
His Excellency Joko Widodo, President of the Republic of Indonesia and current Chairman of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, Mr. Nadiem Anwar Makarim, Minister of Education and Culture of the Republic of Indonesia, representatives from the Ministry of Education, Culture, Research and Technology of the Republic of Indonesia, Council of Rectors of the Indonesian State University, organizers, from Pajajaran University, Bandung, Indonesia. Guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon to all of you. The Philippines, through the Department of Information and Communications Technology, is honored to be part of this webinar series where we discuss the developments in the higher education sector of the ASEAN member states. The ASEAN Higher Education Conference is an important venue where we can share strategies and establish partnerships in strategic areas of collaboration that will further achieve our shared goal of ASEAN as an epicentrum of growth propelled by future technocrats and professionals trained under the higher education institutions of ASEAN. As we traverse the road towards a sustainable digital future for the learners of ASEAN, the Philippines, through the Department of Information and Communications Technology, is committed to the implementation of various strategies and initiatives that seek to foster innovation and transform the country into a competitive digital hub in the region. These programs are anchored on 4 major areas of cooperation discussed during the 3rd ASEAN Digital Ministers meeting held in the Philippines last February. The first area is citizen-centric governance, where we harness the latest ICT tools and technologies in transforming the government into an agile bureaucracy, both on the front end by delivering quality and efficient services to the people, and on the back end where the government offices are supported with robust ICT infrastructure. Last June, no less than our President, Ferdinand Marcos Jr., launched with us the eGov PH mobile app. This is a one-stop shop platform that revolutionizes the way government services are delivered to and accessed by our citizens. By providing a centralized platform, the app simplifies the process of accessing various government services, allowing citizens to conveniently access important information and public services, apply for government permits, and transact with public officers. Effectively, instead of the people going for government services, this app is the government bringing its services to the people. In another area, we have also partnered with the Philippines Commission on Higher Education, and in order to integrate its various services in this same eGov PH mobile app, allowing our learners from all over the country to apply and access grants and scholarships from the comfort of their homes. We are also working with CHED, our Commission on Higher Education, to digitalize the system where Filipinos can securely access their certification, authentication, and verification of all these documents online. By digitalizing access to CAV, Certification, Authentication, and Verification, which is a requirement for Filipinos to work or study both locally and abroad, we are helping to ease the process for learners who are pursuing further studies in other countries. Apart from this app, we have also launched other e-government platforms that will streamline access to public service, facilitate ease of doing business, and stamp out corruption and red tape, such as our e-local government unit platform that will assist our local governments with their business permit processing, tax payments, and permits and licenses, as well as the e-report, which allows for a public feedback mechanism for the general population. The second area of digital inclusion entails the implementation of programs and projects that bridge the digital divide through physical infrastructure and policy interventions. Through our Broadband ng Masa or Broadband of the Masses program, we seek to activate internet hotspots in public spaces and schools in order to focus on geographically isolated and disadvantaged areas. By the end of 2025, we aim to activate at least 110,000 live sites in all the 82 provinces of the country, and thereby extending our national fiber backbone to cover both Visayas and Mindanao, our second and third largest land groups, in order to provide the connectivity badly needed to support local government operations. Digital inclusion also calls for providing adequate support to our citizens that will allow them to unlock the potential of frontier technologies. We have invested heavily in our upskilling and reskilling programs to future-proof our workers in the digital age. One of these programs is what we call the Tech Trends program, where we provide basic as well as advanced training to the youth, especially those who are taking higher education courses on various emerging technologies like data science and analytics, blockchain, metaverse, artificial intelligence, 3D printing, IoT, and so on. The DICT is also working with relevant stakeholders to leverage artificial intelligence for public good. We have supported initial initiatives such as AI summits and Women in AI conferences in the Philippines to highlight the importance of ethical guidelines, transparency, and accountability in the development of this technology in order to mitigate the risks such as job displacement, biased algorithms, and privacy concerns. Aside from AI, the DICT is also exploring the integration of quantum computing in government systems and harnessing the metaverse in entertainment, in education, communication, as well as commerce. The third area is in an innovation-driven economy. Requires the formulation and implementation of policies that enable the flourishing of innovative startup ecosystems in the country. One of these policies is the Startup Grant Fund guidelines, which will allow Filipinos, especially our youth, to access capital, mentorship, and networking opportunities to grow their respective tech startups. The Startup Grant Fund encourages the youth to come up with innovative tech products and services that will not only help improve the quality of their lives, but also help sustain the country's digital journey. The fourth area is a safe cyberspace. Underscores the necessity to implement programs that protect our citizens who are participating in the digital economy from cyber threats and cyber crimes, and to engage in international cooperation to enhance the country's cyber security posture. We're working with our ASEAN brothers and sisters in this aspect. With 91 million Filipinos expected to be online by 2026, the DICT has scaled up its efforts to protect our digital citizens by training cybersecurity professionals and elevating our CERT, or National Computer Emergency Response Teams, in their capacities. We have also prepared our National Cybersecurity Plan for 2023 to 2028, which will be the country's blueprint in boosting our cybersecurity resiliency. Through all these programs, the Philippines commits to be an active partner of ASEAN in shaping a digital future that benefits and enriches all the lives of the citizens of ASEAN. The Philippines, through the DICT, will forge stronger collaboration with all member states of ASEAN in mutual areas of interest such as digitalization, e-government, cybersecurity, data protection, and connectivity in order to promote peace, achieve prosperity, and sustain the stability in our region. Thank you once again to the ASEAN and to the Indonesian Ministry of Education for this opportunity to be with all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ivan, for your time. Hello, Mr. Ivan, how are you? Mr. Ivan?
Yes, we're doing very well. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much for inspiring talks. Because we don't have a direct question and answer, the participants maybe will give the email later to the committee if they still have questions to you. Thank you again, Mr.
Yes.
Ivan, and have a good day. Thank you.
You too, and pleasant day to all the participants.
Yes, sure. Thank you very much. Please give big round for Mr. Ivan John and Riley. Ladies and gentlemen, if you still have questions, even though we don't have a direct question and answer for the last two speakers, you can still drop your chat and the committee will try to welcome you to communicate later on the email. All right, ladies and gentlemen, excellencies, honorable participants. Now we will move to the third speaker for today. Please allow me to introduce to you Professor Ling San. Professor Ling San is a Deputy President and Provost at Nanyang Technological University, Singapore. He got PhD in Mathematics from the University of California. His experiences are about, currently he is the President's Chair in Mathematical Sciences at NTU. Chief Scientific Advisor to the National Research Foundation Singapore, member of the Committee of Government Scientific Advisors Singapore, and Chair of SPMS Andean College of Science at NTU. Today, he will deliver the talk about role of higher education institutions in innovation and digital technology for humankind sustainability, especially in enhancing quality assurance. Without further ado, please welcome Professor Ling San.
Good afternoon. I'd like to thank the organizers for the kind invitation for me to share my thoughts at this conference. My apologies that I'm unable to join you live this afternoon due to a conflict in my schedule. It is often said that we live in an increasingly VUCA world, volatile, uncertain, complex, ambiguous. The advent of Industry 4.0, grand challenges facing mankind today, such as climate change, sustainability, health and aging, pandemic such as COVID-19 that lasted for more than 2 years, and more recently, the emergence of disruptive technologies such as generative AI in the form of ChatGPT and others, clearly demonstrate the VUCA nature of today's world. The challenges posed by these disruptions demand sound and effective responses. Responses that need to be coordinated and integrated and not piecemeal or at odds with one another. They also need to be agile and swift, for the consequences of some of these disruptions are severe, while new situations continue to evolve rapidly. And our responses also have to be resilient and sustainable, as the solutions we come up with must not create new and bigger problems and crises. In order for humans to come up with responses meeting such criteria, we must possess transferable skills that can nimbly pivot from one context to another, and lifelong learning has become essential, not a luxury. New problems demand new knowledge and skills. What we have learned previously could rapidly become obsolete. Hence, constant reskilling and upskilling are indispensable. At NTU Singapore, recognizing the need for education to meet these new demands, since 2021, as part of our 5-year strategic plans, NTU 2025, we have decided that the education we provide will aim to produce graduates who possess the 3 C's: character, competence, and cognitive agility. Character and competence are basic attributes that need no explanation. Cognitive agility, the new kid on the block, refers to the mental nimbleness that allows a person to quickly understand new situations, recognize the new skills and knowledge one needs to respond to the new situations, and then acquire them in order to stay relevant. To achieve these goals, we have chosen to focus on 2 broad initiatives: interdisciplinary learning and experiential and collaborative learning. We introduced an interdisciplinary collaborative core curriculum, compulsory for all undergraduate freshmen who matriculated in August 2021 onwards. This is a basket of courses addressing grand challenges such as well-being, sustainability, and digitalization, and important skills such as communication, teamwork, and digital literacy. Each course is carefully designed and curated by a team of professors from a broad spectrum of disciplines. The content of each course draws from a wide set of disciplinary knowledge, and the courses are co-delivered also by a multidisciplinary team of instructors. Students from different disciplinary backgrounds learn together and work on projects together. So the whole experience is highly interdisciplinary. This is how the workplace is for most. And hence, we decided it is important for students to be stretched beyond their comfort zone and acquire such skills and habits early on. We've also been introducing many cross-disciplinary learning programs to equip students with skills and knowledge from beyond just one domain. One of the programs introduced a few years ago was data science and artificial intelligence. In 2020, Forbes published a list of top 10 undergraduate programs globally for AI and data science, and I'm proud to share that this NTU program was the only one that made it to this list outside of the US and the UK. As NTU Singapore has extensive research activities, including some jointly with industry partners, and our research institutes have also been offering interdisciplinary research opportunities to students to help them hone their skills. Not everything can be learned effectively in a classroom setting. Hence, we have put in place a suite of experiential and collaborative learning initiatives to enhance and enrich students' learning experiences. Within the curriculum, students have to undergo compulsory internships, even if they are philosophy or mathematics students. Other options include overseas exposure entrepreneurship learning, etc. Outside the curricular space, there are residential education courses, leadership development and community engagement programs, and so on. There is also an extensive list of career preparation activities we can take, or rather the students can take, to better prepare them for work life. Innovation and entrepreneurship is something we believe will have an impact on society. Hence, it is an area of emphasis in our 5-year plan, a new wing we want to grow in addition to education and research. Besides a second major and a minor in entrepreneurship, students can also undergo mentorship by experienced entrepreneurs or spend a year overseas to work in some startups. We hope that some of our students, professors, and researchers will eventually become innovators and entrepreneurs to add value to the society through their innovations. NTU is strongly committed to sustainability. We believe that it is our responsibility as global citizens to do our bit for planet Earth and to groom the young to become well-equipped leaders to ensure that the Earth remains habitable, not just for our generation, but also for generations to come. Therefore, besides weaving in sustainability into many of our courses, many activities are also available to promote and inculcate such consciousness and habits. We also walk the talk by adopting numerous sustainable solutions in the daily running of our operations on campus. To ensure that we can be effective in achieving the various goals set for education at NTU, we established the Institute for Pedagogical Innovation, Research and Excellence, or INSPIRE for short, in July 2021. Besides providing training for faculty to equip them to be effective educators, INSPIRE also guides the campus community in understanding new pedagogical developments and responding to impact of emerging technologies and trends, such as generative AI and using AI to enhance learning. As I mentioned earlier, lifelong learning has become indispensable in this VUCA world. Recognizing this need and the importance for universities to play a pivotal role in addressing this need, NTU's Center for Professional and Continuing Education, PACE at NTU, offers many courses and programs to working adults to help them upgrade and reskill. The programs are highly flexible, allowing learners to stack towards various credentials, eventually even to a master's degree. The courses are delivered through various ways, online, hybrid, or in person, to meet the needs of different adult learners. Our continuing education offerings have more than doubled in the past 5 years, and we expect the growth to accelerate in the next few years. Given NTU's commitment to sustainability, earlier this year, we also collaborated with the United Nations Institute for Training and Research, or UNITA, to establish the CFAL Singapore Centre. CFAL is a global network of training centers focused on the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. CFAL Singapore will soon be offering continuing education and executive training programs to learners in Singapore and throughout Southeast Asia on various topics surrounding sustainability. We welcome you and your colleagues to take advantage of these offerings so that together we can better equip ourselves and others to make this world a better place, and that our higher education institutions can create a positive impact on this world. Thank you.
big round of applause for Professor Ling San. Distinguished guests, honorable speakers, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we will move to the fourth speaker for today. Please allow me to introduce Dr. Shahira Libai Lutfi. Dr. Shahira Libai Lutfi is a founder and advisor to University Sains Malaysia or USM. She got DEA and PhD from Grupo de Tecnologica del Halba y Aprendizaje Automático or GTHAU. Her experiences are about, she is now senior lecturer in School of Computer Sciences, University Sains Malaysia. She is also a visiting researcher in the European-funded FP7 project at Heriot-Watt University. She is a Deputy Director of the International Mobility and Collaboration Center, or IMCC, at USM. Today, she will deliver a topic about unveiling the triumphs, trials, and lessons of student mobility. Without further ado, please welcome Dr. Shahira. Hello, salam Dr. Shahira. Can you hear me clearly? I think you're still on mute. Can you unmute your audio, please, Dr. Shahira? So activate your microphone, please.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Can you hear me?
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, good day, Dr. Shahira.
Hi, how are you, everybody?
Good, very good. Very nice to see you, even virtually. All right, Dr. Shahira, thank you for your time, even though we have the different time. You have 15 minutes to talk, and after that, we will open the Q&A session directly, so the participants will drop the questions in the chat box, and I will try to read it to you. Are you ready, Dr. Shahira?
Yes, I'm ready, but please give me a few minutes for me to just connect with my system here.
Right, thank you. It's all right. Take your time.
All right, can you see my screen now?
Yes.
All right.
Your 15 minutes.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Your Excellency, the President of Indonesia, Pak Joko Widodo, distinguished delegates, esteemed participants, and respected guests, professors, and also students and colleagues. Thank you very much for inviting me. I'm sorry that I can't be there in person as well. And Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And good morning all the way from Montreal. It's 4:55 a.m. right here. Okay. So today I would like to actually, I have seen the rest of the speakers, and they were very formal, and I was really amazed to see some of the, many of the contents from different Asian countries. And I guess that my talk today is going to be a little bit unique in the sense that we are going to discuss on the triumphs, trials, and also lessons of student mobility. Now, the moderator has already introduced me, and for any of you who are interested to know more, you can check the website. Right now, I am the Deputy Director for Global Engagement, International Mobility and Collaboration Center, known as IMCC in University Sains Malaysia. All right, when we look at mobility, we're talking about, usually we're talking about student exchange. All right. It is the regular exchange up to 2 semesters, but there are also some other definition of mobility. We have also short-term programs that goes from 1 week to 8 weeks. So these programs are tailored and personalized towards the target, research, and also internship. Now in Malaysia, all of the universities, we have our own niche in conducting mobility, and we work with each other very closely to encourage and try to increase our inbound and also outbound mobility. We also put a lot of emphasis on intercultural competencies and student experience and also character. Now I noticed that the professor from Singapore, he was mentioning this also about the character. So this is something unique from ASEAN, right? And for the inbound with University Science Malaysia, we have about 55% credited bearing, those mobility programs that have credit, and also 45% that have non-credit. And so far, the active mobility students only in University Science Malaysia is 590. I'm sorry, I'm not able to get the latest data from the whole of the university because they were still updating in the ministry. Okay, now, how does universities in Malaysia, particularly USM, for example, stand out? You know, what do we do to actually entice individuals to come and do mobility in Malaysia? In particularly now, I'm using the case study of University Science Malaysia. Well, we are situated in Pulau Pinang or Penang, and it is a touristic island. And our Georgetown, which is the capital of Penang, is has the UNESCO World Heritage Site, and USM is the only public university that is in Penang, which is a very touristic and multicultural island. And when you talk about multicultural and you talk about multi-ethnicities and multi-religion, people come from diverse ethnic and religious background. Okay, and of course, and food has a lot of impact also. So Penang is also a food paradise. This is how we actually entice or use this as a promotion to actually pull in mobility students. Now, of course, we also use, if you see some of the pictures here, I think everybody knows, especially if you're in Indonesia, this is a monitor lizard, and they're actually our locals from University Science Malaysia. And you can see some of these cheeky signs that we have, you know, like Godzilla is crossing, or let this monitor lizard cross, because they are really our locals. Now, coming up with this kind of, you know, this is a clip that I actually got from Instagram, and this is passive marketing. So when students from overseas sees these, oh, very surprisingly, these are the things that are actually pulling them. These are the things that you cannot see or cannot see in documentation. These are the unsaid things, right? So I'm actually trying to share this today. And of course, you will have some unique flora and fauna, like this lutong and lutong monkey and his blonde baby here in Penang Hill. Okay, and also when it comes to for research mobility students, they're always very attracted to the fact that we are under 200 top ranked university in the world, 137, and also we maintain our rank, the 4th rank in Asia as a result. And as a result of the 4th rank, we are also we hold the top global ranking in SDG 16 of the UNESCO, which is the Peace, Justice, and Strong Institution. Now, we also have, other than that, many universities in Malaysia. We also have top-ranked niche areas from different research centers and faculties, and Malaysia is very affordable for international students, especially in terms of food, accommodation, and most of the courses that are being conducted are 90% in English. Okay. Other than that, for internship, this is something that I would like to emphasize also. Something new that we are looking at is mobility, internship mobility. in groups. Because Penang is also a port and also a free trade zone, we have many companies here. So we have like multinational companies, including the biggest Dell in the world, the second largest Intel in the world, and many other multinational companies are known as MNCs. And this attracts students to come and do their internship here, sometimes graduated students as well. And the other states could be Kuala Lumpur and also Johor Bahru, which is the state next to Singapore. This is an example of a recent internship program that we have conducted with a group of international students that come from Indonesia. These 12 students, they came from Institute of Technology November 10, Surabaya for the first cohort, and this year 9 are undergoing internship in several schools in USM, and 3 are being placed in full-time in a multinational company or in the industry in Pulau Pinang, in Penang. And what's special about these programs with the University Science Malaysia is that we integrate cultural and familiarization activities in the weekends to make it more meaningful. Like if you see in the pictures here, the students are actually undergoing certain cultural programs like Chinese writing, the gong playing, and Malay dance, Indian dance, and stuff like that. There are also many individuals, including the recent graduated students from overseas, especially from Europe, that are interested to become interns at research centers or the higher COEs, the Center of Excellence or research centers that we have in University Science Malaysia, and also specific faculty members in certain faculty in the university. Okay. All right, so this is some of the triumphs that I have shared, and now let's move on to the challenges that we are facing, the real stark truth unveiling challenges. All right, these are the 4, we have many challenges, but these are the 4 main challenges that I have managed to put together. Some of these challenges probably are not even documented. This is from anecdotal observation and also experiences that we have. And I would like to share it with all of you, esteemed guests. Now, the first thing that we will be looking at is quality disparity. And we also have language barrier program. We have visa complexities, and also last but not least, the cultural barrier. The first one is the most important challenge, or the most pertinent challenge that we are actually facing, which is quality disparity. Now, the varying quality of education across ASEAN nations poses a challenge for students seeking academic mobility. Okay, you must understand that students, they come with a different education background. They come with different education background, different standards, different expectations. And, you know, most of these students, they struggle to follow through subjects, because we do have students that come in from certain Asian countries or certain European countries, and they find that, you know, our education maybe is a little bit more difficult, and some of them find that it's a little bit more easier, you know, both ways that we have. And because of this, we have different expectations. And, you know, we also have, as a result, we have some problems getting buy-ins from the academics. Now, this is a this is a top-down approach. Now, when it comes to the management, when it comes to the ministry, you know, they will always encourage us to get mobility students, to get to increase your exchange students, to increase your short-term programs and whatnot. But we need to really have the buy-in from the academics, those people who are actually facing the students every day. So we have difficulties sometimes getting lecturers to take in exchange students because of these different standards that they find in the education system. And because of that, it's hard to actually persuade the school to take in exchange students. And that's where sometimes we face problems of pushing this exchange students. So taking more exchange students can also be a problem for us. Now, we have the ACTS and we follow the ACTS, which is the Asian Credit Transfer System. But correct me if I'm wrong, it might not be, this ACTS might not be accounting for content, but rather the load. So the load we're talking about here is the student learning time, the contact and non-contact hours and stuff like that, and not really the content. An increasing number of international students also impose some problems in manpower. Manpower is important. Not being able to deliver to a huge number of exchange students can compromise quality. So that's why we need to have some buy-in from the management, some buy-in from the lecturers themselves or the professors who are actually taking in the exchange student or accepting them in their classes. And some of the other problems is the recognition hurdles. Some universities may not recognize certain subjects from some other universities because they find, like I said, I was mentioning earlier, because they find that this is much more easier or this is much more difficult. And because of this, we have credit transfer challenges. Now, students, when they have credit transfer problems, they are not willing to extend the semester. They are not willing to go for exchange because graduate on time may be more important than extending the semester because they are not getting the credit transfer. All right. The last one has already mentioned is about, manpower, increasing number of international versus the low resources available. The second problem we are looking at is actually English. Most higher education institutions in Malaysia are conducting their courses in English, about 90%. So English is still the most used language in arts and sciences. We know that students sometimes they come with English requirements. They do have certain English papers or transcript or certain standard tests that they have passed, but are they really functional in English communication? Students are observed to use also translation apps. Some students that comes from certain Asian countries, especially from the People's Republic of China, for example, they're very good at using these translation apps to translate to the original language and then translate back to English to communicate. Now, the academic performance here we're talking about is difficulty in comprehending tests, assignments, and also meet the coursework expectations when they have problems in English. And this can also cause social isolation. Struggling to communicate with peers can lead to feeling of isolation and exclusion, making it very challenging to form meaningful connections for students, right? And the third problem that we're looking at is the visa complexity. Now, every country has different problems when it comes to visa application, visa processing, and complex visa processes and regulations can also discourage students from pursuing mobility across the Asian nation, especially when we're talking about time to obtain visa. We have experienced problems where the students did not get a visa in time and sometimes, join us 3 to 4 weeks after the classes has been conducted, and sometimes this poses problem for also the lecturers and also for the student to follow on with the classes. When it comes to internship, there are also special incentive by the local government to take in local interns, like for example, tax incentive for structured internship program. So when they are given this incentive to take local interns, sometimes they refuse to take in mobility students from foreign countries. Okay? And also there are also interests from graduated students. But the problem with these graduated students is that they are not anymore affiliated with any institution, and so who will be accountable for them? We also face these problems before. There are individual students that are coming from Europe. Usually students from Europe, they would like to do some internship before they start working. No, they just graduated, and before they start working, they would like to come to Malaysia to do internship. However, if they are not affiliated with any organization, with any institution, the immigration has a problem accepting, because they need to have some kind of offer letter for them to process this. So who will be giving them the offer letter? Who will be accounting for them? Who will be accountable for them? And also this bench fees problem, this has been a long-standing issue. Certain students that come from certain countries actually impose bench fees, especially when they want to do research stay, or sometimes even internship, when lab equipments and certain equipments are being involved. You know, when they have to use this equipment in the lab, you know, there are bench fees, and this is 350 USD. Sometimes it's very, very expensive for the students, so we have to also look into this. To solve some of this visa complexity, we are also looking at virtual internships, where we would like to conduct internships and connect with industry also, and you know, and have it virtually. And because this has credit bearing, some of the institutions in Malaysia are still waiting for the green light from our Malaysian Qualifications Accreditation Association, MQA. And we also look at COIL. This is also something that can actually solve the visa complexity, because virtual internship and COIL, collaborative online interactive learning, will eliminate the need of visa. Okay? And in European countries, what we notice is that they are going all out, especially after the COVID, during the COVID and after COVID, they're going all out with COIL, collaborative online interactive learning. This is very interesting, where students are not just concentrating on the hard skill, but also on competencies. For example, if the student is not understanding the partner country's accent, the students from the partner country, their accent, for example, they're not understanding, then they need to come up with a way to try to understand the accent, and the students from the partner country will also need to try to slow down or to speak in a way where they can connect with the members of the other partner countries, members of the COIL. So this also teaches them on how to be interculturally competent. Okay, it's very interesting actually. Last but not least, we have also cultural barrier. So when it comes to cultural barrier, I can just wrap it up in one in one graph like this. You see this image. It's usually what the students believe or what the staff believe, because mobility, we're also talking about staff, and the reality is much bigger than that. It can be something completely different. So, so far with University Science Malaysia, under the Erasmus program, we have received more than 14 inbound students with this Erasmus. Now, sometimes we do acquire grants, for example, Erasmus stipendium and some other grants from other countries, matching grants and whatnot. But it is quite challenging to persuade students or the staff to come, especially when they are from Europe. This is a fact, okay? Because sometimes they do have this preconception. We are actually put as a third world region. So they're looking at this third world phenomenon, and it might not necessarily be true, might not be true. All right, for example, some of the questions that they might ask is, can I easily contract any diseases? Now, we receive a lot of feedback from students and also staff. They are supposed to come and would like to come, but then they are very scared because they're thinking that they have malaria in ASEAN countries, you know, they have typhoid in ASEAN countries, and they have some other diseases that they are, you know, even dengue, you know, they were asking me what is the vaccine for dengue, and dengue doesn't really have vaccine, so do they need to be vaccinated and whatnot? And also, is the water safe there to drink? Are the snakes there very venomous? You know, this kind of questions that we get, and how do I behave? Well, sometimes students, they may be a little bit, they do have this fear of the unknown. So they are a little bit worried about how if whatever that they behave, you know, is going to offend us, the Asian, or is it right to do certain things certain way? What is the taboo that they do not know? You know, a lot of questions like this, because when they move around the European countries, it's more or less the same. But when they come to another region like ASEAN, they, you know, this is all about fear of the unknown. So what we notice is that Western students are also quite underinformed, and some of them are unacquainted. So maybe personal outreach would actually help to solve this problem. When I talk about personal outreach, it's really about making a presence in this Western country, going to visit your partners and then promote a little bit and talk to them and discuss openly and truthfully what you can do to actually attract the students. And especially when you have this online program, like promote online and let them meet your students online, this actually bring down the fear. And also we have successful exchanges from Europe, and when they come, they do not want to go back. Usually when they come to ASEAN countries, Indonesia, Thailand, Malaysia, Vietnam, they would not want to go back. We also have experiences where students come back again the next year to experience exchange again in the same country. And word of mouth play a very important role in promoting the Malaysian exchange, especially. This is what we found. We may have social media, we may promote using the paid media, but word of mouth is still the most important, essential channel, right? This can be through passive promotion. For example, students come, they're happy, they take the pictures, they put in their Instagram. We had a case, we had an instance where Hungarian students came, and then they're so happy, before they came, they were so scared, they were so preoccupied with a lot of questions about how they can survive in these Asian countries. But when they came here, they were quite happy. In Malaysia, they were happy. In Penang, they were very happy. So they were snapping pictures and recording their experience and putting it online. And at once, they had more than 7,000 viewers. And then from there, we have more and more students coming, because when students listen to their own peer or colleagues, this works better than just reading from the internet, right? I think with that, I would like to end my talk and sharing session today. Thank you very much, and I would be happy to address any question. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Shahira. Please give big round of applause for Dr. Shahira. All right, Dr. Shahira, now we would like to open the question and answers. We have 3 questions coming from the participants. So the first question from Tommy Timotheus from our university, from University of Indonesia. The question is, sorry, I have to move a little bit. Yes. So the question is, in the context of virtual mobility and online learning opportunities, how can educators maintain the experiential and immersive aspects that are often associated with traditional in-person student mobility programs? That's the first question, Dr. Shahira. The second question coming from April Ulano Agagat, and we don't know actually from which country. The question is, what are your moves towards helping educators combat the use of AI, such as ChatGPT, especially in learners' output or projects? And the third question coming from Ferdinand Bonfilio. The question is, he or she want to add a question. Quite a lot of people think that using AI in education will be a huge setback for student education because of its ability to just create answer at will. The question is, Is there a way of for the education industry to, instead of for combat the use of AI in education, try to make use of AI such as ChatGPT to benefit the student? I think the two questions is a little bit the same, and the time is yours for answering the questions. Dr. Shahira, please.
Okay, thank you very much for the questions. They are excellent questions. The first one is how do we maintain the traditional elements that we have in traditional or the classic way of mobility program through online virtual mobility program. Now we have conducted online virtual mobility program, and I think COVID is a time that has taught us that we can actually do things without papers, we can actually do things without being face-to-face. Now, in this kind of program, of course, there will be some restriction. It's not going to be 100% the same as face-to-face mobility programs, but we do integrate, for example, games, and we make students play these games, sometimes like, for example, Batu Seremban, the traditional games, and they are able to actually set up online traditional sessions, for example, traditional games, music, entertainment, dance, and all that. And we do see that students actually from the other country, or for the host, from the host country, and as well as from our partner country, they were very, they enjoyed the moments because it was something very new for them. And at the same time, online virtual mobility program enables students that come from a lower income background to enjoy this, because they do not need to spend money to actually fly, for the flight, for accommodation, for food, living abroad, or even for visa process. So we do have this, it is quite successful actually, because we have done it before during the COVID, and also 1 or 2 sessions after the COVID. And we are now especially looking at virtual internship, and we are, at some of the universities like UNISA, they're working with the Ministry of Malaysian Education to get the thumbs up to continue with this virtual internship, for example. And the second and third question about using a generative AI like ChatGPT, why does it is seen as a bad thing? Because you can just generate answers without anything. Well, I am a lecturer from computer science, and even I use ChatGPT sometimes, and we are actually quite open about it. It is to use to assist. We have some guidelines. Okay, certain countries like Malaysia, when we're trying to come up with these guidelines of using ChatGPT or generative AI, like what we are trying to do is to not to limit, but actually the assessment that we are giving students. For example, when I give assessment to students for my test or for my assignment, it is not something that they can just type and get the answer in ChatGPT. They can use ChatGPT to enhance the answer, but they still have to apply some critical thinking in order to come out with those answers. That is my simple question. So I do not think it is bad to use ChatGPT, but it is very important for the educators to actually come up with assessment, formative and also summative assessment that uses critical thinking or higher order thinking level for the students to come out with answers. But if they want to use ChatGPT to enhance the answer or the language or to rephrase, it is totally fine. That is no problem. And usually good lecturer would know if the student is taking everything from ChatGPT. And we also assess students through presentation. So when the student is presenting, the students should be able to understand what he or she is actually doing. So this is not a big, huge problem. I do not see it as a huge problem. So I also do not see it something that is bad. Actually, we should be open about it. I think that, I hope that answered the question.
Yeah, All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Shahira, for such, very comprehensive and very real to us facing that phenomenon for today's. I think there's lots of questions coming to us, but we have limited time. Sorry about that. But don't worry, the participants, because the earlier Dr. Shahira mentioned her website, you can also log in into that and you can direct communication to her, of course. All right, Dr. Shahira,
Yes.
before we
Very much.
close this session, I would like to request to you to stay on the screen because we want to take the photo session. Right, let me count into 3 and please give your big smile to the participants. All right, community, please help us. 1, 2, 3, smile. All right, great. Thank you again, Dr. Shahira, for your time, for the wonderful talks. Please stay healthy there and see you soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you
Salam.
very much.
Thank you, Dr. Shahira.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for inviting me, Ibu, and all the organizers. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good day. Distinguished guests, honorable speakers, ladies and gentlemen, now we are going to listen the fifth presentation coming from our fifth speaker. I will shortly introduce Mr. Wellington Wang to you. Mr. Wang is currently the Director of Asia Pacific Education and Healthcare of Huawei, Bangkok, Thailand. Mr. Wang has been deeply involved in government industry, project research, and development for more than 15 years. He has led major special activities such as the Asia Pacific 100 University Special Actions of Huawei, dedicated to smart education ICT research in Asia Pacific. He has a unique insight to the development of education informatization. His expertise includes smart campus solution for higher education with diversified education scenarios and ICT practice development for developed and developing countries. Today, he will present about accelerating the digital journey of education. Without further ado, please welcome Mr. Wellington Wang.
Yeah.
Hello, Mr. Wang.
Yeah, hello everyone.
All right. Mr.
Hi,
Wang,
hello,
thank you
Monica.
very much. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
I hope you are in a good conditions and thank you so much for the time and your availability for today. Mr. Wang, you have 15 minutes to talk and after that we will have a question and answers. Is that all right?
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, so the screen and time is yours now.
Okay. Can you see my screen? Maybe. Confirm. Okay, I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, please.
Okay. Okay, hello. Distinguished guests and online audience. I am Willingdon Wang from Huawei. I'm responsible for the education and healthcare in Asia Pacific region. I am honored to be invited to make a speech at the Asian Higher Education Conference 2023. The theme of my speech today is accelerate the digital journey of education to create new value together. We are now in an era of technology innovation and transformation. New technology are emerging one after another, including 5G, IoT, AI, and etc. For example, by last month, I get the number from the internet is that the ChatGPT users have reached 100 million users, so short a time. One of the most important impacts of this technology on education is that they have changed the campus of the educations from traditional campus to digital campus. And finally, smart campus. The trend of the digital transformation is unstoppable. And the education digital transformation is driven by technology. With the wide application of digital technology, such as the cloud computing, Internet of Things, and AI, ICT, and teaching activities are deeply integrated, accelerating the digitalization of the education. And many countries, including like China, the United States, the European Union, and other countries have incorporated the accelerate education digitalization into their national development strategies. Many smart education is based on the digital technology to build solutions suitable for basic education, the higher education, and vocational education scenarios, such as SR training, smart classroom, and converged campus network. It built an intelligent education system that serve lifelong learning for all people and realize precise teaching and personalized learning driven by data and technical support. And we will promote high quality education and development. In addition, the ICT environment requirement for building a smart education system are as follows. The first one is that to build a high quality campus network and to build a smart campus information highway, just like that. Achieve full wireless coverage, carry multiple services on one network, and implement the intelligent operation and maintenance. Deploy campus level and regional level the cloud base to implement the resources pooling, application, service bases, and unified management. Through data convergence, AI intelligent education enable the ensuring both comprehensive and personalized learning. And for digitalization into their national, for the phases, we need to evaluate their degree of education informationized. Generally, there are 6 dimensions to evaluate the degree, as you see from the pictures. For example, the digital strategy, as I mentioned, many nations already implement, and others, which you can see, there are a total 6. Among them, the smart environment, smart teaching, And transformation effect have attract more and more the attention in universities in the Asia Pacific region. This is closely related to the current phases on carbon neutrality and AI technology applications. And we need to see how we can achieve this kind of information. How we can make the intelligent education. Generally, there are several ways. One, as you can see from the left part, via smart classroom. Smart classroom is important to be students centered by improving the teaching efficiency, promoting the students' personalized learning, and enhance the students' interest. Multimedia interactive teaching, hybrid learning, and collaborative classroom also can be built to make it the smart classroom. The second is that you can see we move from a classroom to the campuses. We call it smart campuses. This also need to be implemented to make it. The technology such as the IoT can be used to manage the university and improve the resource utilization. In these cases, we need to build a strong basic network and several large network, including the teaching resource network, monitoring network, what we say the CTV network, and the teaching management service network. Some applications can be run in this kind of network. There are different layers. This is the foundation for building a smart campus. In addition, for college and universities, especially those that attach importance to scientific research, the AI and the HPC also help the school quickly improve the scientific research efficiency. Finally, at the right part of the slide, we can see that we also need to promote the talent development and training. To improve the overall scientific and technology quality of the students, to meet the requirement of the students as centeredness. And for the next page, we can see that to meet this current development trend of the classroom, we improve the teachers' teaching efficiency and enhance the students' action. Smart classroom are extremely effective. They cover various access devices and need to support online or offline teaching and learning, especially during the COVID-19 duration. We also need this online, right? But even though we at these days, this kind of requirement still exists. This requires cloud platform and services, high-speed network to make it work. Also, the teaching application like the LMS, TMS, the training management system, this kind of system, with the help of the smart screen in the classroom, the various teaching tools also needed to be included so that we can make the smart classroom work. And also for the HPC, we can see that it's also very important for the university, especially for the university who have a very strong at the scientific research. Enhancing the strategy of this scientific research and development is very important. It's a very important means to enhance the competitive of the college and the universities. For example, if want to improve the ranking, this is necessary. And also one of the motivate for us to enhance the national scientific research ability and strategy to meet the strategy. Many countries already have their plan and strategy to improve this kind of ability. The scientific research of education is a data intensive application of scenarios. Effective use of the HPC, high performance computing, and AI or the AIGC can greatly improve the R&D efficiency. For example, you can see in the image some medicine development duration normally is called many 10 years, maybe more than 10 years, and then now maybe only 100 days with the help of the AI and HPC. And the gene sequencing duration can be reduced from 1 day to only 8 minutes. In the past, maybe 24 hours, but now you can get the results instantly. And the weather forecast accuracy can be improved from 21% to 90%. It's very the improve is very great. So this is it's all my part for the sharing. There are some ideas on how to accelerate the education informatization. We hope that our basic education and university in this area, not only in Indonesia but also in the whole region, Asia Pacific region, can quickly improve their ICT capabilities and help improve their overall strength to contribute to their own countries. We will because I'm from Huawei, we will also continue to work very hard in local region, not only in the Indonesia but whole region, to help the education industry in informatization. Thank you very much. This is all my presentation.
And gentlemen, please give big round of applause for Mr. Wang. All right, now we open the question and answer. We have 2 questions. Mr. Wang, the first questions coming from Naila Natalia Risma from Universitas Indonesia. The question is, with the rise of remote and hybrid learning, what innovative methods of technologies are emerging to ensure equitable access to quality education, especially for underserved communities or regions with limited digital infrastructure? The second question coming from Ihsan Habib from Malaysia. The question is, as a global company, does Huawei offer internship opportunities to students from Asian countries? And what kind of activity that can students participate with to gain industrial skills? Mr. Wang, the time is yours to answer the 2 questions.
Okay. For the first question, for the hybrid learning, with the help of hybrid learning, as we know that it can improve the efficiency of the learning and teaching. But many countries maybe with very few investment in the infra, for example, the networking or something. But normally, this kind of situation, we will suggest to use the public cloud services. Not only the application, for example, the Zoom or others you can see, but also some application we can use from the other countries. For example, Huawei have many public cloud nodes in the local country, in Malaysia, in Singapore, and other regions, including the Thailand, Malaysia. We have the local data center can provide a resource to and also some SaaS services to provide any kind of services. We have the learning management services based on the cloud, and from there we have some resources, the learning resources, the courses is located in our cloud. We can download from there, and then we can also use. Maybe it's not the online learning from for instant learning, because due to the limit of the infrastructure in local country. For example, in some developed country, the network is not so good, but we can download from that the kind of resource from the other countries. In local country also, we also trying to implement some data center, local data center to be in local. This is the first way, and the second way, we also have the research network in the universities. Some university, they have a good networking interconnection with other regional universities. They can share some resource based on that. As I know, nowadays in whole region, we have the scientific research network already available. This is also can be used by the university directly. You can get many resources, and then from there. But for smart classroom itself, we can suggest to use some online learning tools at home, or somewhere else with the good connection of the network. Not only in the classroom itself, we can join it online, and then to join the classes easily. So this is what my answer. I hope it can answer questions. And for the second one, can I read the second question again, please? I remember it.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, it's about the resource, how it can make, how we can provide some support for the ICT, right? For the ICT part, and how to make. Actually, Huawei have ICT academy for each countries. We have a strong team to support the learning, and we also have many. We also have many marketing events to support that. We have also the bonus to support. If he get the competition, maybe won the prize, we can have Huawei have the budget to support this kind of activities. And if this is not joined by the university itself, because of the ICT academy, we all normally we cooperate with the university and or the college. But if some individuals want to join the activities, he also can learn about some courses. We have many courses online, just like that of the physical. We have the same mechanisms to support it kind of issues, to have the certificate like the HCIE or HCNP or something like that. This is also made you very competitive. We have our courses to support that, so that if you normally if you already have had the certificate of the HCIE, we Huawei in local office, for example, in Indonesia office, will very welcome the one who to join our office. It's a very good advantage, very bigger advantage if we get the certificate of the HCIE. But normally, this kind of HCIE, we have many agents. You can try to make examination. get it. We also have some resources online can be downloaded directly. This can make it work. Our office in local also have some activities can support this kind of explanation. We have the voucher to make it that. Maybe you can connect to our local office to make it. I hope my answer can answer your questions. Thank you.
Yeah, all right. Thank you, Mr. Wang, because your explanations are very clear, and also we have still one questions coming from Kain Nyun Meng. Sorry for wrong explanation. So the questions, Mr. Wang, he asked, I would like to know the requirements for smart university. Please, Mr. Wang, you can answer the questions.
Yes. This is a very good question, because for some smart university, he is a very big how to say that be the meaning of this one. How it's very hard to make a very short explanation for this kind of idea. Normally, a smart university we can divide to different levels. For example, I mentioned about the smart classroom, smart campus, and also some HPCN for the scientific. It's only a few part of this one. Actually, we also have other level of this smart university. For example, the high level services based on the cloud. And this is infrastructure we can run in not only in the university itself, but also can use as services in the public cloud. I have met a lot of team or some CIO from different universities. They emphasize that the application and scenarios itself is very important for the smart university itself. Because only you can solve the problem of the teachers, solve the problem of the universities, or solve the problem of the principal, or that, so that you can make your university more smarter, so that it can be popular by the students or teachers. How to make it? They have different ways. For example, they develop a very strong application, and the application to achieve many features, like not only the normal application. He can visit some resource from the university, but also he can support the normal life. Not normal life. For example, he can charge his credit card. He can pay for the lunch. He also can pay for the lights when he use stay in the dormitory, and he also can use the application to manage the whole campuses by, for example, the IOC centers. He also can use this application to make the campus, the university, more safety. Yeah, this is just like an example to make the university more smart. Actually, with not only how we can do it, but many other partners can help to do it. We only can do part of it. No one can do all of it. So, but we try to make it from the bottom to the top. The bottom is the infra to make for example, the network make it more smoothly, make it more fast, to make all the application work very well. And this is what we can do. And also we have the cloud to make the application to run very well, or something like that. To the smart classroom to make the learning and teaching more efficiency. These kind of things can step by step. But we have the high level design help to have this kind of idea. this is trying to do it step by step. Okay, I think this can be achieved by phases. Okay, this is my answer.
All right, Mr. Wang, thank you very much for such a great explanations. Mr. Wang, do you still have a flexi time? Because there's still one question coming from the participant. Is that all right?
Okay, welcome.
All right, thank you. So from Ali Bahzat, the question is, some of the students are getting slow in this digital journey of education as they are more alert in face-to-face class. Kindly give your kind opinion, Mr. Wang.
As I understood, many students, they want to join the class online because they just like what we do to facing the work. For example, for me, for casual talk, I want to do something online, not only join the meeting in the meeting room because very many things is limited. But actually, I suggest do it face by face because the face by face is a very effective way to learn things and to discuss things, to negotiate things. But if we want to do it online, I suggest you just learn the resource. For example, download some resource from the website and then to learn by himself. This is a good way. But joining online in the past few years because of the COVID-19, we are forbidden to do it face by face. It's doable, but from there we can see that many students may have a very limited way to learn more things. Because sometimes when you discuss with the teachers or learn from the teachers, you will get the information, get to learn many things from only a few words by face talk. But if you want to buy online, we also can. Maybe you miss some message or signal from the teachers. But if you in the local face-by-face teaching, we also can have many ways to make it online using the pad, using the smart board. There are many tools for the teacher and the students to cooperate together very well. This is what I suggest to be local. And another way as my experience, in another way for some universities, he will use both way, with the face-to-face teaching and online learning. But from the figures, the face-to-face is much better, as I know. This is my answer.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Wang. One last question coming also from participants. You've been very busy to answer the questions. So the questions coming from, last one question from Tengku Laras Malahayati from Indonesia. So good afternoon, Mr. Wang. My name is Tengku Laras Malahayati. I am a computer science student from Universitas Indonesia. I would like to ask a few questions. How do you view the barriers integrating artificial intelligence for higher education, especially in developing countries? And what proactive actions would you suggest for enhancing digital literacy within higher education in developing countries? Thank you.
Let me understand the question.
Sorry, Mr. Wang? Yeah.
Yes, I'm still reading. Could you raise the question?
So we will present the question. So
yes,
she wants to ask first, what is the barriers in integrating artificial intelligence for higher education, especially in developing countries? And the second one is, what is proactive actions that could you suggest for enhancing digital literacy within higher education in developing countries, Mr. Wang?
This question, I think it's very hard to answer for me. Yeah, for the barrier, at least I just saw my understanding for this kind of issues. For the barrier itself, it exists not only in the developing country but also in the developed country. Yeah. I think we need to solve this kind of problem for them to do it step by step. Normally, according to my experience, when I travel to many countries to visit the universities, they will do it. For example, in the first step, they just using some simple tools. Try to use the tools on maybe without pay. Some tools without pay. It's easy to make the collaborative to discuss. For example, some Zoom tools, some tools like Zoom or something like that to make it work. And the second is that the countries should have some may have some strategy for developing this kind of technology and to solve these kind of issues. For example, in Malaysia, they have a strategy to connect all the school around the nation and to make the the communication more easier and also to make the university between the universities communication can be easily. And then they need to do is the first step is that to establish the networking. The networking itself. The networking can be from not to reach 100 gigabit so big, but we can make it from very basic network using the carrier network itself to make it work. And then the second step is that the school itself, the university itself, will need to set up his strong networking. This is necessary. Not only maybe it will be achieved in the future, but I suggest we can start right now because we are in the boost of the data area today. So if we do not have the strong connection, networking or other infrastructure like data center, bigger data center or something like that, we will have a big challenge for us. The distance, the challenge for us will be very high comparing to some developed country. And then for the further phases, we try to establish and to implement some application. Very simple implementation is also possible for the students to use to make the communication more easier. In China itself, for example, I'm a graduate from the USD, and in the past, we do not have any application. We do not have any good network connection. We do the network connection by ourselves, by the student itself to connect to the carrier network. But this is not a good way. But we have to set up a good networking application. So that's my university. He set up this kind of system 10 years later, and then it's all, even though at first it's very simple application, but in the later maybe as I remember it's for 5 years or something like that. He had very strong application to support the many services as I mentioned, about, for example, the sharing of the resource and the communication and the payment or something like that. Every kind of services was implemented. We should have a plan. We should have a strategy, a high-level design. This is my idea. Okay.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Wang. Very much understood and crystal clear for everyone here. Thank you again, Mr. Wang, for such an inspiring talks. I may request you to stay on the screen. We want to take a photo session. Please give big smile to the participants. In count on 3, we will take a photo session. In 1, 2, 3, smile. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Wellington Wang, for inspiring and wonderful talks, for your experience during your productivity. Stay healthy, and we will see you soon around. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Honorable guests, distinguished speakers, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting close to the end of our sessions today's communique webinar session of Asian Higher Education Conference 2023. Thank you for all the speakers for the great presentation. It was a pleasure to have you with us. To conclude this webinar, again, thank you for all your attending. We hope you have learned and gaining new inspirations as well as insight that might be implemented to your country. Thank you again. We appreciate you being here virtually, and we will see you all next time around. I am Denisa as a moderator signing out, and I pass the session back to the MC.
Thank you so much, Nurse Denisa, for the fruitful Q&A session. Our next session would be announcing the winner of our door prize for the best questions of the day. Our winners will be April Ulano Agagel from the Philippines, and Ferdinand Bonfillo and Ahli Bazat. And congratulations for winning the best questions. Please stay in the webinar until our team contacts you to claim the prize. Moreover, all registered participants will receive a certificate through registered email given by the Council of Rector of Indonesian State University or Ketua Majelis Rektor Perguruan Tinggi Negeri Indonesia. Lastly, I would like to express my greatest acknowledgement to everybody that has been involved in the ASEAN Higher Education Conference of 2023. On behalf of Universitas Indonesia and the organizing committee, hopefully our program helps to strengthen your understanding in regards to build your local community through higher education collaborations. And we hope to see you in AHEC Conference, Exhibitions, and Innovation Expo on 24th to 26th of August in Bandung. Thank you so much. I am Maurice Efroza. I'm signing out.
Recording stopped.